What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Scott here from FudgeMuppet with another redone build, the Dragon Priest. He's had a bit of a facelift and a slight revamp of the skills and backstory. The Dragon Priest is for all those wanting this kind of character, but it is a little hard to play a character that worships dragons when the entire storyline revolves around killing them. So, the Dragon Priest isn't exactly a Dragon Priest, but he seeks out all of the Dragon Priest masks and artifacts. He's enthralled by the stories of the ancient dragon cults and even further intrigued by the return of the dragons. But to fully understand this character, you must first hear his backstory. So the Dragon Priest has a backstory of much confusion. You see, he was born in Falkreath, a Nord, born amongst a normal family. Straightforward, nothing weird, until, as a young boy, he developed an obsession with dragons, particularly dragon cults. He would ask for books upon books upon books from his parents, and he would beg to go with his father on excavations. One day, his father finally gave in and took him on a week-long excavation to a nearby ancient Nordic ruin filled with relics of dragon cults. During certain complications, the young boy was separated from his father by a Draga attack. The young boy seeking refuge finds a crypt-like room with walls decorated in dragon cult etchings. The young boy spent a full day in here, filling his mind with the mysteries of the ancient dragon cults. This is the point where he becomes a little crazy. The Dragon Priest wanted to actually become a dragon, if not emulate everything they are. After the young boy was rescued, he would spend the rest of his days obsessing over becoming a dragon. He became the town loony. At the ripe age of 21, he would venture into the mountains above Falkreath to explore some ancient Nordic ruins, but instead he gets caught in a skirmish which would result in him being taken to Helgen. As Helgen burns, he is in awe of Alduin, and when he discovers he is Dragonborn, he will be ecstatic. He can finally become what he's always wanted to be. He will slay other dragons to become the most powerful in existence. He will also travel to Solstheim to defeat Mirak and harness more knowledge of the dragon blood. He not only wants to emulate everything that a dragon is, he wants to destroy and surpass all other dragons, so he is at the top of the food chain. Now let's talk about the equipment. The Dragon Priest uses the Cultist armor set from the Dragonborn DLC, including Cultist robes that have a 75% magicka regen, Cultist boots which we have enchanted with one-handed damage and resist fire, and then the Cultist gloves which we enchant with fortify destruction and one-handed damage. For the headpiece, we are using the Dragon Priest mask Konorik, which can be acquired by collecting all of the Dragon Priest masks and returning to Labyrinthian. Konorik has a unique enchantment which imbues the user with magical effects when health is low. Most of the time it knocks back enemies and heals the user while granting a fire cloak, though sometimes it may instead summon a spectral Dragon Priest ally. For jewelry, use a gold ring and a gold ruby necklace that are both enchanted with one-handed damage and fortify destruction. For the offensive side of things, the Dragon Priest wields a Dragonbone sword enchanted with fire damage and a secondary effect of your choosing. I would recommend something like shock damage, maybe frost damage. Absorb health also goes really well. In his other hand, he uses the fireball spell to eviscerate enemies at a distance. You may choose to use incinerate, but we enjoy the explosiveness that this build provides. And as the cherry on the top, the Dragon Priest will use the Dragon Aspect Shout to maximize use of the Dragon Blood. On top of this, he will use Fire Breath as one of his favorites, but other shouts I would recommend would be Frost Breath, Slow Time, and Ice Form. As for the skills, we have expanded upon the initial Dragon Priest build that was taken down. So like before, there is one-handed for the use of your sword, destruction to rain fire down on your enemies, smithing to create your prized Dragonbone sword, and finally, the new ingredient to the recipe, enchanting. You may have already picked up on that from the footage and the fact that I mentioned our character has enchanted gear. But if you didn't pick up on it, surprise, this guy has enchanting. So we can enchant his gear to give him the extra edge in combat and help reduce the amount of magicka that we need. As for the playstyle, you will want to enter battle by using the Dragon Aspect Shout whenever possible. Proceed by equipping another shout like Fire Breath for instance and let loose. Use fireballs to barrage your foes as you charge in with your Dragonbone sword at the ready to clean up what isn't already roasted. The main playstyle changes will vary with what shouts you use in combinations. For me personally, I just like the scorching approach, emulating everything that a dragon is, just using fire breath all the time. For a stat spread, we are going to want to do 50% health, 30% magicka, and 20% stamina. We like to have a bit of stamina to unleash more power attacks and sprint around the battlefield. We can also afford to have less magicka because of all the destruction magic reduction cost from our enchanted boots, gloves, ring, and necklace. The standing stone is in fact not not the Lord Stone. We are choosing to go with the Atronach Stone, giving us 50 points of Magicka, 50% spell absorption, and minus 50% Magicka regen, which is immediately countered by our Cultist robes that have plus 75% Magicka regen. This overall provides some nice bulk against magic and also gives us another source of Magicka through spell absorption. And that's the Dragon Priest returned in all its glory, plus a little Botox in the forehead to get rid of the wrinkles. Remember to offer any info you have on our deleted Skyrim builds, because we have made about 100 of the builds all together and can't remember every single backstory and little detail. We can remember the gist, just not the details, so do help if you can. Like the video for the FudgeMuppet facelift of the Dragon Priest and subscribe for Skyrim builds every week. If you subscribe, you will also get, in addition to the builds, Elder Scrolls 6 discussions, redone Skyrim builds, and Fallout 4 content. So I'm Scott from FudgeMuppet, and I will be back soon to nerd out with you all once again.